We're starting the day with the tail of the tape between these two wonderful fellas. Look how gorgeous they are. 1-0. Those stats are so wrong. They couldn't be more wrong. What the hell happened here? Well, let's ignore the stats and jump right into the game. We got 1-0. Runner-up of TP League coming for another TeD Cup title. Left-hand side in the blue. And his opponent, Sock, in the yellow. Upper right-hand side. The humans are doing better than ever. Not ever. Better than in the past couple of years. Can one of these, or maybe both of these, advance into the round of 8? For 1-0, it's always the question, is he willing to give his best? We've seen him lose to Hawk. No disrespect to Hawk, but a 1-0 shouldn't lose to Hawk. Granted, that was very unusual maps, and maybe even slightly human favorite maps with Lost Temple in the mix, etc. But there, he couldn't break the human alliance. Can he do it now? And with what style? We have a DK Ghoul opener, usually reserved for maps like Twisted, but we see it here as well. 1-0 already, killing all the animals. Little grubby cosplay here. Speaking of grubby, we got some news there later. So, classic opener. Sock also with 3 farms. Very, very likely to go for an expansion. And then we'll see if the DK is in range. Can throw the coils. Can get experience. We're drawing first blood. And that Acolyte got burned despite the rope. Here we go. Green spot first. DK will arrive, but will he arrive in time? He's taking a sidestep for the High Priest. Steals that away as he has some time. He only wants to be on the left-hand side when the militia are there too. And Sock anticipating that. Coming in with Archmage, Footman, and dealing lots of damage to this DK already. It's already a little tricky here for 1-0s to stay out of range of Footman, Militia, Archmage, Water Elementals. But Sock still needs some more lumber. Presence of the DK now, slowing Sock down tremendously as the tech has already started. Little opening into the base here where he should be safe. Thank you, Dunk on You 1 for the 2-month resub. Much love. And Sock was lured away. Time bought for 1-0. Just with the presence of the DK. The follow-up will come. The creeps wake up. And the aggro has been switched as well. Great little move by 1-0. So stressful. Change of plans for Sock right away. This is not going as planned. Footman, Archmage, chip damage only on the first hero of the undead. Peasants are about to fall. You can't allow a steal, and there shouldn't be a steal, but maybe the item? Nope. That's saved as well. Little more HP for the Archmage is not too bad, but man, what a disaster. Here come the ghouls. 1-0 in terrific shape. He came prepared for Last Refuge, that's for sure. The tech is almost there. And we didn't even start creeping the expansion yet. That's absolutely brutal. Thank you, Nummer 2, for the 40-month resub. Lots of militia. We got a tele staff now. There's always a chance to come back for the human. But an early game like this plays into the hands of 1-0, who can follow up with this attack. He didn't really commit too many ghouls to this attack. They were present, but they weren't really close to anything. Archmage, of course, got a big chunk of XP thanks to the Rock Golem, getting closer to 3, and level 2 Water Elemental is the solution for ghouls. At least for the long run. Dagger to heal up. Here's the expo.
A player's forces are under attack.
And if 1-0 is not breaking this, and it's not counter-expanding this, the late game will belong to the human. But reaching that is always the eternal problem for the race. Ghoul gets trapped. That was pretty nice. Expo is gonna finish. Tower is also coming up. Deny use there. That's quite some losses for 1-0 if you ask me. Tower's getting cancelled, but DK should be out of the fight. Archmage has boots. DK has not, only quote-unquote the aura, even though we all know how amazing that is. And all of a sudden there's level 3. All of a sudden it's a 14 food lead. What a botched attack for 1-0, wasn't it? Now the Necromancer can use his skeletons to do some additional damage, but second tower will be up. 3 ghouls dead. Swing for the fences, son. Sock is back in the game. And he didn't play his footman timing yet. This is only skeletons. They will expire. And against an arcane tower, they don't stand a chance either. Archmage, staff, boots, gloves, circlet. And the water elemental damage. Will 1-0 have to TP in his own base? He's forced into a potion because of the counter pressure. Gotta be careful. Leo Sitlo, thank you for the prime sub. Gotta be careful a little bit here. Because Coil Nova is imminent, trying to slow down the statue production, the Destro production, but couldn't really reach for the shop. And now Coil Nova is online. Tier 3 tech also almost finished. Sock is teching a minute later than he originally wants. But the DK is not even close to 3. And he can't creep at the moment because he's that busy at home. Forces reduced though. Side, you're correct. Spirit Tower forced as well. A lot of defensive investment by 1-0. And he's pretty broke now. Can Sock get the towers up? Five towers in production. God tower, here. Destroyer upgrade will still take time. We have one statue out, the second one in production. And yeah, it's time for more towers. Lumber is okay. Blacksmith is coming as well. Maybe he throws a rifle in or two just to help with the defense early. Frenzy there, but of course a lot of ghouls fell already. DK not solo creeping. If Sock would have stolen that, it would have been amazing. Skull of the Beast, alright. Footman still harassing, still buying time. 2 ghouls out of the fight, severely hurt. Same goes for the Archmage, but the investments into boots. 1-0 is so lumber starved, he pulled too many ghouls. Amazing recovery by Sock. And Destroyer upgrade only now started. That buys Sock so much time. 1-0 was a little overwhelmed. The towers are gonna finish. Also in the base. And how do you break this? Must be a pit lord, right? Doesn't even have the resources for that. Sock's distraction, amazing and exactly what he needed in this game. Mountain King coming. Sock is not out of shallow water. Not out, no. Not out of... It's still dangerous. But there's not even a Nova to worry about. The statue gets ensnared. That's a huge deal. And the trolls kill it. Oh my god, it's a disaster for 1-0. You want to do a destroyer bust? Well... with one destroyer, you're busting nothing. Now we got the resource for the third hero. What's it gonna be? Dark Ranger or Pit Lord are the choices. Dark Ranger still. Okay. Like, this is not even web yet. And web is pretty expensive in lumber. It will still take some time to get that. Mountain King out. 3 ghouls, okay. We got 3-3-1 heroes. But castle is coming. Tech is started. This game could have been over after 5 minutes. Very much so. But as I said, the destroyer push won't work. And the longer this game goes, you know it. But this is a good attack by 1-0. Basically what he needs. Can he kill that Rex? That's huge. Oh, no power build. Can't intercept. The knights are severely slowed down now. Love how these guys are trading blows. Early game, very good for 1-0. Sock striking back, establishing that eco. But now the timing might hit a little bit too hard. Altar has to be rebuilt. That shouldn't really delay the paladin, but could. Repair ready instantly. 1-0 can't really go up to higher than 50 food. Trying to break this into the towers with the little forces he has. 1 Destro and a handful of ghouls. Sock is rebuilding a lot. Second Rex here, also the workshop. And the altar. So tier 3 is done. The towers are up. You can't dive into this. And for Sock, it's time to finally spend the money. Destro onto the towers. It's only the arcane. Lots of damage. Does he not? Okay, here come the gyros as well. Still no web. How do you deal with gyros as anti-air? I think you simply don't. That's 5 supply gone. Ghouls on the ground stand no chance. Same goes for the Dark Ranger, really. Needs a coil very, very soon. Uncontested gyrocopters. Oh, are they uncontested though? 1-0 somehow fixes this. But this was a fight without knights. Getting his heroes caught with another Nova, but it should be fine. Paladin on the way, 1/3 done. And 1-0. In a desperate attempt, going for wagons now. Getting another statue intercepted. The movement is really good by Sock. Gyro scouting on the left-hand side. 1-0 is hoping to intercept something. This knight could have been his, but creeps apparently more important. Knights, gyros, upgrades. That's all it takes. 1-0 is never gonna commit to banshees, you know it. And with only 1 empty statue on the ground, you... Oh, that was a nasty Nova! But here's the gyros again. We have web, alright, but it's 2 fiends. It's ridiculous. Economy is suffering, but Sock's army is perfect. 60 food. Another fiend for free. This one hurt. Paladin is in a little bit of trouble. He got the staff. Now needs to be careful. There's no holy light currently. Staff's on cooldown. 1-0 might force a town portal. These gyros, of course, useless. But there's another kill, and that is game. Sock with an amazing recovery. 1-0 in the first match of Group C of TeD Cup. Respect! That was very, very well held. After an expansion creep that had the creeps involved from the mercenary camp, and a delay by like 1.5 to 2 minutes, Sock was able to get the counter pressure on through 1-0 back, who had let's be honest, it was a horrible push into Sock's base. So many ghouls dying quickly. And then, if you're up against a player like Sock, that's too much. Echo damage too low. Levels too low. And then just not making any big mistakes. The distraction by Sock into 120's main base was extraordinary. That's also based on the fact that he didn't lose too many footmen in 120's harass, so he could use them offensively right after. My god. This Sock is scary. The B-boy dancing his way into the winner bracket final maybe. Let's go, 1-0. We got 120 again in the blue bottom left hand side. Sock starting upper right. It should be more or less the same. Human expansion, Undead trying to push this. Might be a pit lord this time. Might be a very different setup this time. If 120's harass is just better. We see a Lich, which is... Oh, what? It is entirely different. Everything is different. Mountain King first versus Lich first opener. Who plays Mountain King first on Northern Isles? Stormbolt Surround is a very good way of dealing with the Lich. And 120, I would say Happy's Lich openers are a lot better than 120's Lich openers because he's just way more aggressive. 120 never feels that way, so maybe he's going for a counter expansion. He's definitely preparing some. Wand of mana stealing. Holy moly! Oh, this is so good! Level 2 immediately, stealing damage away basically. Like mana translates into damage, right? So steals that away, gets more himself, more chances for a Stormbolt. But on the other side, without Archmage range attacks, without Water Elemental, lower chance to get rid of an opponent expansions. No militia creep. Got an expansion attempt, and that's oftentimes try this, and if it doesn't work, they pull back. The Mountain King has to make a decision. Do you want to help at the south or do you want to defend in the north? Footman will definitely cancel this. Wonder if 120 goes for the tech immediately. But militia setup is there. Mountain King backstab, but he has to defend without the Footman. They're on the other side of the map. Can he still get a surround out? Counter surround by 120 immediately. He knows what to do, but it's kind of weird because the counter surround units are also blocked. And of course, there's no TP. Encircled Lich. Go, must go down. Must go down. The question is deny or not. There's a hammer. Sock is making sure. Kills 120's first hero 4 minutes in. And of course, the Expo is dead. The Ziggurat gets killed. What a disaster. Total destruction. Mountain King though. Oh, don't die. Don't die. Nobody's tacking. We're just brawling. But this MK is level 3 prior to the 3-minute mark. Obviously, Sock lost HP, lost a footy here and there, a couple of workers. That's level 3. That's level 3. But there's no human expansion. But an undead tech at 5 minutes 20 with a Lich in the altar feels so bad. It's an amazing game for Sock. And 120 needs to pull a rabbit out of a hat.
A player's forces are under attack.
Oh, looks like... Oh, clap! There's still the Wand of Mana Stealing. There's still a Clarity as well. It's clap too, by the way. Oh boy! Look at this MK. He's hurt though. Wand of Mana Stealing. What a fantastic item.
A player's forces are under attack.
Here's the hammer. No way he's getting that surround again. GG! 6 minute 30. Sock just manhandles 120. Throws him out of the winner bracket in 20 minutes. Utter disastrous game by 120. Disastrous game. And Sock playing his cards so well. Going for a Mountain King here. Glorious. And of course, getting that item helps, but also having the presence of mind to not fall to this attack and not defend with everything, but just straight up attack, kill that Expo, kill that Ziggurat. 120 completely overwhelmed and has to go through the lower bracket now if he wants to have a chance at TeD Cup. Yikes! That was a big yikes, this performance.